Hey there, it's CaraNightly, and tonight I have with me the new Final Fantasy bundle set from Magic the Gathering. I am so excited to open this with you tonight. Inside is 9 play boosters. We'll flip it. Sometimes I can make it so the dice is not super noisy, and other times I fail. Okay. Let's take a look at the back here. The entire Final Fantasy saga is here. Enter Battle in Magic the Gathering with some of the most iconic characters, items, and moments from the 16 core games in the legendary Final Fantasy series. Call forth classic summons, cast powerful spells, and visit familiar locales on the back of a chocobo. Step into these unforgettable stories and give them a whole new spin. Alright, so, pardon the sigh, that was my dog in the background. There's 16 traditional foil and 16 regular basic lands. The oversized spin down are 9 play boosters, 2 traditional foil extended art legends, and of course, the box. Alright. Inside the box is this mini poster. And then our box, our bundle. Ooh, it's a little squished. That makes me sad. Alright. Our spin down. Let me move this so we can focus on the dice. The spin down here. I mean, the Final Fantasy set is very black and white, so this is, wow, that was a big sigh. This is, it fits the theme. It does, and I like it. I like it a lot. I might have to give this one to my husband, though. He'll like this one. Alrighty. Let us clear some space. And we will get started. We'll get started with the lands. Okay. Our planes. Ooh, okay. Islands. I like that one a lot. The swamp. Nice. Mountain. Forest. I like that one. Okay. And ooh, we also have wastes. That does not always happen. Okay. Just one card for that. Okay, let's begin opening the other land. And this has our legendary card. Strago and Realm. Legendary creature, human wizard. Sketch and lore. You can pay 2 and a red. You tap. Target opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile an instant, sorcery, or creature card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. If you cast a creature spell this way, it gains haste, and at the beginning of the end step, sacrifice this creature. Activate only as a sorcery, and it's a 1/3. I love the art. That is gorgeous. Next we have Vaughn, Street Thief. It's a legendary creature, human scout. Whenever one or more scouts, pirates, and or rogues you control deal combat damage to a player, exile the top card of that player's library. You may cast it. If you don't, create a treasure token. Whenever you cast a spell you don't own, put a +1/+1 counter on each scout, pirate, and rogue you control. And it's a 2/2. Okay, very specific, but that seems like a pretty good card. And then we have all the foil lands, so same lands we just saw, but all foil. Awesome. Alright, let's begin opening the packs. Oh, look at that cute bird token creature. Oh, ooh, we got a double-sided card. Oh, we got a fat chocobo. Summon fat chocobo. Enchantment creature. Sages, Nolus. An artifact equipment. Weapons vendor. Creature human artificer. Okay. Haste magic. Shinra reinforcements. Crossroads village. Okay. Laborit scout. Creature rabbit scout. Next we have Ash, Princess of Dalmasca. She costs 2 generic and a white. It's a legendary creature, human rebel noble. Whenever Ash attacks, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest onto the bottom of your library in a random order. And it's a 3/2. Circle of Power, sorcery. You draw 2 cards, you lose 2 life. Create a 0/1 wizard black creature token. Wizards you control get +1/+0 and gain lifelink until end of turn. We have Thief's Knife. Job select, but it's an artifact equipment. Zanarkand, Ancient Metropolis. It's a sorcery adventure. Lasting Faith. Cost 4 generic and 2 green. Create a 1/1 colorless hero creature token. Put a +1/+1 counter on it for each land you control. Okay. It's very pricey, but good. And then this is actually a land town and it enters tapped. That's cool. That's cool to see an adventure card. Be that. Oh, we got a land town that flips into a vehicle. Balamb Garden Airborne Flying. Whenever Balamb Garden attacks, draw a card. Crew 1, and it's a 5/4. That's cool. And then we have Q-Trub Warrior. Okay, it's a zombie horror and a full art swamp. Alright, pack number 1. Fate of the Suncrist. Spell cost 2 less to cast if it targets a tapped creature. Destroy target non-land permanent. Cost 4 generic and a white though. Oh, but 2 less. Okay. Mysidian Elder. Heck dies. That's weird. When this creature enters, each opponent discards a card. Oh, those ooze. Ooze will get ya. We got another Summon Fat Chocobo. So create a 2/2 green bird creature token, and then creatures you control gain trample until end of turn. Okay. And he's a 4/4 and he costs 4 generic and a green. Sage's Nullis costs 1 generic and a blue. An artifact equipment. It has job select. Grand Pulse Oku. Ooh, it has Death Touch and it's a plant beast. Lunatic Pandora. Surveil 1. You can destroy a target non-land permanent if you pay 6. Phantom Train, a vehicle with trample. Sacrifice another artifact or creature, put a +1/+1 counter on this vehicle. It becomes a spirit artifact creature in addition to its other types until end of turn. Interesting. So this doesn't have crew. Its crew essentially is sacrificing another artifact or creature. Interesting. Very weird. I like that. It's different. Next we have Ring of Lucy. Costs 4 generic. You can tap to add 2 colorless or pay 2 and pay 1 life to tap target non-land permanent. Ooh, Shantoto, Tactician Magician. Cost 1 generic, a blue and a red. It's a legendary creature, dwarf wizard. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Shantoto gets X+X+0 until end of turn, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast that spell. If X is 4 or greater, draw a card. Alright. Ooh, Ultros Obnoxious Octopus. Heck yeah. Costs 1 generic and a blue. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, if at least 4 mana was spent to cast it, tap target creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, if at least 8 mana was spent to cast it, put 8 +1/+1 counters on Ultron. Or Ultros, sorry, I said Ultron. It might as well be Ultron. It's a 2/1. And it costs 1 generic and a blue. I love that card. I want to put that in something. That's so cool. The Wind Crystal costs 2 generic and 2 white. Legendary artifact. White spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Okay. If you would gain life, you gain twice that much life instead. Okay. And you can pay 4 generic and 2 white and tap. Creatures you control gain flying and lifelink until end of turn. Okay, that's a good card. I like that card. Holy crap, what is that? Ultimecia or Ultimecia, Time Sorceress. Cost 3 generic, a blue and a black. Legendary creature, human warlock. Whenever Ultimecia enters or attacks, surveil 2. At the beginning of your end step, you may pay 4 generic, 2 blue, and 2 black, and exile 8 cards from your graveyard. If you do, transform Ultimechia. 4/5. Oh, Ultimechia Omnipotent. Legendary creature, Nightmare Warlock. It has Menace, and when this creature transforms into Ultimechia Omnipotent, take an extra turn after this one. It's a 7/7. Whoa, that's crazy. And we have Insomnia Crown City, and then, oh, look at that cool art card. Okay. Some, I don't know, some good cards in that one. We have a treasure token. Cornered by black mages, a sorcery, commune with beavers. Ice Flan, it's a creature elemental ooze. Ooh, Co-Earl. Tap, target non-enchantment creature. Very specific, but that's cool. Call the Mountain Chocobo. Vincent's Limit Break. What the heck? Tiered. Choose one additional cost. Until end of turn, target creature you control gains. When this creature dies, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control and has the chosen base power and toughness. Interesting. Adventurers in a land, a town. Lionheart. Ooh, okay. When this equipment enters, it deals 2 damage to any target. Equipped creature gets +2/+1, and it's equipped to Dark Knight's Great Sword, Job Select, which means when this equipment enters, create a 1/1 colorless hero creature token, then attach this to it. Its equipped creature gets +3/+0, and it is a knight in addition to its other types. And its equip is pay 3 life, activate only once each turn. Cost 2 generic and a black. Ooh, Quina Q Gourmet. Cost 2 generic and a green. It's a legendary creature Q. If 1 or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens +1/1 green frog creature token are created instead. Pay 2, sacrifice a frog, put a +1/+1 counter on Kina, and it's a 2/3. This could go in my Ajax and Niv deck, and I think that could be kind of fun to interact with, or some other form of token duplicator deck with green. A mythic. What are you? Ishitola rule. Okay, cost 4 generic and 2 blue. It's a legendary creature, cat, druid. At the beginning of your end step, exile target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. Then if it's the first end step of the turn, there is an additional end step after this step. Interesting. So you get 2 end steps. Whoa, that's cool. And it's a 3/5. We have Kuja, Genome Sorcerer, and it is 2 generic, black and a red. It's a legendary creature, human mutant wizard. At the beginning of your end step, create a tapped 0/1 black wizard creature token with, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this token deals 1 damage to each opponent. And then if you control 4 or more wizards, transform Kuja. Trance Kuja, Fate Defied. It's a legendary creature, avatar wizard. If a wizard you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage instead. Okay, and it's a 4/6. Not bad. Monk's Fist and an island. We have a robot warrior token. Alright, so we have weapons vendor. It's a creature human artificer. We have haste magic, an instant. Shinra reinforcements, creature human soldier. Okay, so you can mill 3 cards and gain 3 life when this creature enters. Town greeter, creature human citizen. So this has got a lot of mill. Ice magic, instant. It has tiered, so choose 1 additional cost. Crossroads village. Laughing Mad costs 2 generic and a red. Instant has an additional cost to cast a spell, discard a card, draw 2 cards, and it has flashback. Okay. Oh my goodness, what is this? Dawn Warrior's Legacy. Let's see. Mid-6 Mastery. Cost 3 generic and a red. Sorcery. Exile target card that's an instant or sorcery from your graveyard. For each card exiled this way, copy it, and you may cast that copy without paying its mana cost. Exile Dawn Warrior's Legacy. And it has an overload cost. Which I think overload means you turn something into all. Instead of target, it's all. Something along those lines. That's pretty good. That's really good if you can pay the overload. Clash of Icons. Costs a green. It's a sorcery. Choose 1 or more. Target creature you control fights target creature an opponent controls. You can remove a lore counter from target saga you control, or put a lore counter on target saga you control. Okay. Elixir. Ooh, love the art. Costs 1 generic. It's an artifact. It enters tapped. Cost 5, and you can tap to exile this artifact. Shuffle all non-land cards from your graveyard into your library. Okay. You gain life equal to the number of cards shuffled into your library this way? I'm sorry, what? That's such a cool card. I love that. Random Encounter costs 4 generic and 2 red. It's a sorcery. Shuffle your library, then mill 4 cards. Put each creature card milled this way onto the battlefield. They gain haste. At the beginning of the next end step, return those creatures to their owner's hand. And it has flashback. That's actually really good. Really, really good. Wow. Ooh, Ultima Origin of Oblivion. Legendary creature god. It costs 5 generic. It has flying. Whenever Ultima attacks, put a blight counter on target land. For as long as that land has a blight counter on it, it loses all land types and abilities and has tap to add a colorless. Whenever you tap a land for colorless, add an additional colorless. Okay, that's kind of cool. And it's a 4/4. Dark Knight's Great Sword. We already have that, but this is now in a foil. And Baron Airship Kingdom. Treasure token. Airship crash. Retrieve the Esper. That's a sorcery. Fate of the Suncrest. Instant. My City and Elder. Human wizard creature. Heck dies again. Adventurer's Airship, another vehicle. This one is flying. Whenever this vehicle attacks, draw a card, then discard a card. And it has crew 2. 3 for 3/2. Not too bad. We have another Laughing Mad card. Another one of these art cards. Vanadiel Adventures. Costs 2 generic and a blue. It's a creature human wizard. If you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead. Holy cow. That's okay. Okay. Sure. That seems like a good card. Eject. It costs 3 generic and a blue. Instant. This spell can't be countered. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Draw a card. Summon Esper Rema. Costs 2 generic and 2 red. It's an enchantment saga. Says this creature deals damage equal to the number of non-creature, non-land cards in your graveyard to target creature an opponent controls. Level 2 and 3. Wizards you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. It's very interesting that these are now creatures. It's just different. Zach Fair. Okay. Cost 1 white. Legendary creature. Human soldier. Enters with a +1/+1 counter on it. You can pay 1, sacrifice Zach Fair. Target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. Put Zach Fair's counters on that creature and attach an equipment that was attached to Zach Fair to that creature. Okay. Yeah, that seems like a pretty good card, but that only costs 1. Okay. Yeah, I like that card. Ooh, Tifa Lockhart. Cost 1 generic and a green. Legendary creature, human monk. It has trample. Whenever a land you control enters, double Tifa Lockhart's power until end of turn. Okay. And then we got Sahagin. Cost 1 generic and a blue. It's a merfolk warrior. Haven't seen that one yet. And an island. Okay. There's some good cards in that one. Ooh, we got an art card. I love that. Cute. Alright, we have Item Shopkeep. It's a human citizen. Malboro, a plant horror. Ooh. Bard's Bow. What is that? Artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+2, has search, and is a bard in addition to its other type. Equip 6 though. It's pretty intense. Stuck in Summoner's Sanctum. It's an enchantment aura. Love these. You're not alone, an instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Okay. Grimoire creatures it gets +4 instead. Blitzball. Add 1 mana of any color. Go! Sacrifice this artifact, draw 2 cards, activate only if an opponent was dealt combat damage by a legendary creature this turn. Very specific, but you know, that's fun. Alright, another super cool card. Battle at the Big Bridge. Costs 1 black, it's an instant. Destroy target creature if it has mana value 2 or less. It also has Revolt. Destroy that creature if it has mana value 4 or less instead if a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn. Interesting. These cards are so cool. Fatal Push. The Gold Saucer. Land a town. Okay. You can tap to add a colorless. Pay 2. You can flip a coin. If you win the flip, create a treasure token. Pay 3. Sacrifice 2 artifacts. Draw a card. Ooh, Rinoa Heartily. Costs 3 generic, a green and a white. Legendary creature, human rebel warlock. When it enters, create an Angelo, a legendary 1/1 green and white dog creature token. Whenever Rinoa heartily attacks, another target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each creature you control. Okay. She's a 4/4. Stolen Uniform. It costs a blue. It's an instant. Choose target creature you control and target equipment. Gain control of that equipment until end of turn. Attach it to the chosen creature. When you lose control of that equipment this turn, if it's attached to a creature you control, unattach it. Okay. That's cool. The Emperor of Palamecia. Okay. Cost a blue and a red. You can tap to add a blue or a red. To spend this mana, only cast non-creature spells. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, if at least 4 mana was spent to cast it, put a +1/+1 counter on the Emperor. Then if it has 3 or more +1/+1 counters on it, transform it. It's currently a 2/2. Transforms into Lord Master of Hell. Okay. Legendary creature, Demon Noble Wizard. Whenever the Lord Master of Hell attacks, it deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of non-creature, non-land cards in your graveyard. And it's a 3/3. Alright. If I build a spell deck, that's what's going in there. Ishgard the Holy Sea. That seems pretty good. This land enters tapped. What is the Sorcery Adventure? Return up to 2 target artifact and/or enchantment cards from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. We have another Sahagan. And then we got Insomnia Crown City. A wizard token, that's cool. I like that. Q-Trub Forayer. It's a zombie horror. Gooboo Gardener. Plant Beast. Scorpion Sentinel. Robot Scorpion. Summon Chocomog. Other creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. Item Shopkeeper. Hilgigas. That's a creature giant with trample and haste. World Map. An artifact. Dark Knight's Great Sword. We've got a couple of those already. Valkyrie Aerial Unit. This costs 5 generic and 2 blue. It's an artifact, creature, construct. Affinity for artifacts. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each artifact you control, is what that means. And it has flying. When this creature enters, surveil 1. And it's a 5/4. We have another Kina Q Gourmet. Lionheart. We already have one of those as well. The Darkness Crystal, no, maybe we did not get this yet. Cost 2 generic and 2 black. It's a legendary artifact. Black spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, instead exile it and you gain 2 life. Ooh, okay. Pay 4 and 2 black. Put target creature card you can tap and put target creature card exiled with Darkness Crystal onto the battlefield tapped under your control with 2 additional +1/+1 counters on it. Okay, this card is dope. So cool. No way. What are you? Albed Salvagers. 2 generic and 1 black. Creature, human, artificer, warrior. Whenever this creature or another creature or artifact you control dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. And it's a 2/3. And then we also have a Baron Airship Kingdom. Alright friends, we have 2 packs left to open. So let's see what we got. Looks like another art card. Alright, that's pretty cool. We have Bard's Bow again. Stuck in Summoner's Sanctum. You're not alone. Okay, seen that. Light of Judgment. It's an instant. Deals 6 damage to target creature. Destroy up to 1 equipment attached to that creature. It's very expensive to cast, but that's pretty good and specific targeting. We have Zephyrith's Intervention. It's an instant. Destroy target creature. You gain 2 life. Another Monk's Fist. Instant Ramen. We have another Renoa Heartilly. Ooh, the Prima Vista. Cost 4 generic and a blue. Legendary artifact vehicle. It has flying. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, if at least 4 mana was spent to cast it, the Prima Vista becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. And it only has crew 2, and it's a 5/3. That's pretty good. Queen Brawny Prowess. Costs 2 generic and a red. Whenever Queen Brawny attacks, create a 0/1 black wizard creature token with when you cast a non-creature spell, this token deals 1 damage to each opponent. And it's a 2/1. We got Cloud of Darkness. Costs 2 generic, a black, and 2 green. Legendary creature, avatar, flying. When Cloud of Darkness enters, target creature an opponent controls gets -X until end of turn, where X is the number of permanent cards in your graveyard. And it's a 3/3. Okay. Ooh, the Lunar Whale. We got a lot of vehicles. Costs 3 generic and a blue. Legendary artifact vehicle. Flying. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. That's good. As long as the Lunar Whale attacked this turn, you may play the top card of your library. Crew 1. And it's a 3/5. And then we have Light of Judgment. And we have Guadasalam Farplane Gateway. Alrighty, last pack. Alright, we got an elemental token. This token is all colors. That's cool. I see another flip card in here. That's exciting. Light of Judgment. Cost 4 generic and a red. Okay, we already have that. Zephyrith's Intervention. Gigantode. Frog. As long as you control 7 or more lands, this creature gets +2/+2. It's already a 4/4 for 4. Okay. Stuck in Summoner's Sanctum. Got lots of those. You're Not Alone. Gigas. Ooh, Thrum of the Vestige. Lightning Bolt. It cost 1 red. Instant. Thrum of the Vestige deals 3 damage to any target. That's pretty good. Another vehicle. Cargo Ship. Cost 1 generic and a blue artifact vehicle. Flying Vigilance. You can tap to add a colorless. Spend this mana only to cast an artifact spell or activate an ability of an artifact source. It has crew 1 and it's a 2/3. Ooh, Gaius Van Balezar. It costs 2 generic and 2 black. When Gaius Van Balezar enters, choose 1. Each player sacrifices a creature token of their choice. Each player sacrifices a non-token creature a creature of their choice. Each player sacrifices an enchantment of their choice. Ouch! That's a harsh card. And it's a 3/2. Ride the Shoe Puff. It costs 1 generic and a green. It's an enchantment with landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Okay. You can pay 5 generic and 2 green. This enchantment becomes a 7/7 beast creature in addition to its other types. Okay, I like that. Side quest, Raise a Chocobo. Cost 1 generic and a green. It's an enchantment. When this enchantment enters, create a 2/2 green bird creature token with whenever a land you control enters, this token gets +1/+0 until end of turn. At the beginning of your first main phase, if you control 4 or more birds, transform this enchantment. Oh, we'll get to that in a minute. A black chocobo. Yay! Creature bird, when this permanent transforms into black chocobo, search your library for a land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Whenever a land you control enters, birds you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. It's a 2/2. That's cool. What? Xenos Galvis. Costs 3 generic and 2 black. It's a legendary creature, human noble warrior. When Xenos Galvis enters, choose a creature an opponent controls. Until end of turn, creatures other than Xenos Galvis and the chosen creature get -2/-2. When the chosen creature leaves the battlefield, transform Xenos Galvis. Oh my gosh, I have another transform card. 4/4. Ooh, Shinryu, Transcendent Rival. Legendary creature dragon. Flying, as this creature transforms into Shinryu, choose an opponent. When the chosen player loses the game, you win the game. Okay, it's an 8/8. I feel like that's probably a really good card, and my husband may be really excited about that one. That's really cool. We like dragons. We have Dreams of Laguna and Plains. Alright, friends, those are all the cards that I have for you tonight from the bundle. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will have a couple of the commanders to share with you from the Final Fantasy set coming here soon, so stay tuned. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more. I hope to see you in the next one. Have a good night. Good night.